The NSAS protest has helped in unmasking the true nature of the Nigerian political class. It has brought to fore the need to revolutionize a change in government and the system which it operates. In a press briefing and book unveiling, CAPA, Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, facilitators of the briefing exposed the lies of the government which attempted to change the narrative that the Buhari-led government killed its citizens at the October 2020 NSAS protest. Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture, had debunked the claim that protesters were killed at Lekki Toll Gate last year. According to him, no protester was killed. They are all but lies. This, however, has been the consistent position of the government, especially the Lagos State government, that exhibited hypocrisy and double standards. Some victims of last year's NSAS protests give their part of the story. Moreover, the panel organized by the Lagos State government didn't compensate victims of the Lekki shootings, but only those that were affected by police and SARS brutality. Recall that the Lagos governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently announced that the state has released funds for the compensation of the victims. Despite the gimmicks of the government, the narrative hasn't changed. Nigerians are well aware and know the problem that they have.
It's available for download on our website in about 2 hours' time. We have delayed that before this presentation. Thank you and thanks very much.
And they will forever live in our heart. And I want to say a big thank you also to all Nigerians that came out yesterday, people who gave their support for holding on the narrative that this really truly happened, and for good 1 year we were able to keep the momentum going. I want to say a big thank you to every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think it was Chinua Achebe that said that the story of the haunting, if it is not told by those that are haunted, it is always going to be the haunter that tells the story. Of course, with this, it has often been said that the dominant narrative is usually the narrative of the ruling class. And what this book has done, this documentary has done, is to put the situation in its real perspective. Otherwise, we might go out with a completely false narrative about our state of affairs. You know, and when you watch this film, this documentary, I had to leave because I didn't want to continue watching. Because when a government takes it upon itself to prey on its own citizens, you cannot call it a government. And it is from that perspective that we understand the statement of Kalmeya, who said that Nigeria is a criminally run corporation where the leaders are armed and are hidden in the vault, in the safe. He didn't say Nigeria is a country. He said it is a corporation. So what it tells you is that rather than a political expression, it is a business expression where presidents and governors and ministers and commissioners are either CEOs, COOs, or senior or middle management officers in a business empire. And so what you saw at the Lekki Toll Gate were the businessmen protecting their business empire. That's what's going on. And you and I mean absolutely nothing to them.
Of course.
It's not a surprise. Why would it be a surprise? I think, but it was a wake-up call for the youths. They did well. For some of us who have been vilifying them all these years, accusing them of irresponsibility, that even made the president describe them as lazy youths. When these lazy youths woke up one day and confounded and astounded every single person in this country, that they have known all along what is going on with this country. But what they did not know was the viciousness of the state. They did not understand how evil the state is or could be. And we saw that manifest that day in September 2020. October 2020, I want to thank Kappa for telling us the truth about what happened on that day and in the period leading to it. But most importantly, this title, Lies and the Hail of Bullets, is most appropriate. And of course we know lastly, we are not surprised that a tribunal was set up. But that tribunal came up with something FEDA had already told us was going to happen. And does happen. And that is that they have the capacity to turn blue to red, to turn green to brown. And this is what they have done. But Kappa and the groups that make up, that work with Kappa have gotten up and they say no. This is exactly what happened. One day we should remember what happened in Bolivia. The president of Bolivia has been sentenced to prison. In fact, she tried to commit suicide in prison because under her watch, the military of Bolivia shot dead 12 citizens in one day. So, like they say, no condition is permanent. The only thing that is permanent in life, according to Heraclitus, is change. Change will come. And those people who have done these horrible things, hopefully one day posterity will bring them to justice.
Everybody. My name is Nathaniel Solomon. My brother is Sapota Solomon, who was killed at Lekki Toll Gate on 20th October 2020. Thank God, I think that we will get the justice in panel. At the end of the day, there's nothing, no good result, but no problem. Government, I didn't get the power, I get everything. Thank God.
Nigeria, good morning Africa, good morning the world at large. Wherever you are watching us from right now, well, I'm Patrick Ukala, one of the Lekki victims of October 2020. Yeah, well, I don't have much to say than to thank the world at large for making it possible for us at the panel, for the panel not to be able to give us a positive report after closure. Because I believe they already know the truth. That is why they could not bring out any report about it. And we are still pressing and we are still praying, working hard for justice to be prevailed. Justice must be prevailed to all those that lost their life at Lekki Toll Gate, all those victims that have bullet injury, and all those protesters that were brutalized by army and other armed forces. Thank you.
Good morning, Africa. I'm by name Nicholas Anthony. I was the one that was shot by the Nigerian army at the Lekki Toll Gate during the NSAS protest on the 20th October 2020. When we were protesting, the soldiers came and we were shot at while we were on the protest ground. And although to cut the matter short, I was shot on the chest by the right hand side, and I was being rushed to the hospital. This hospital at VGC, one trauma center. So I was rushed there, and they put some oxygen on my face, and I was being rushed to the theater where they operated my side and fixed a pipe into my belly that was bringing out the bad blood and bad water that was stored in my tummy. And from there, they now took me to Lagoon Hospital for X-ray and scan. From there, they took me back to the trauma center, Granville Trauma Center. Then they now say they don't have the doctor that will examine my chest to know when to separate the foreign body from my body. Yeah, it is Lasut that they can get that. So they now transfer me to Lasut at Ikeja, where they now took X-ray and examined my chest. So they now said at a point, because I was lying down facing up, so they now said, so the bullet keep dropping small until you can feel it at my back. Then the doctor touched it and said they can operate it now and remove it without causing any complication. So I now told them, if you remove it, will you give me the bullet back so I can go and show my parents? They said yes. On my discharging date, they will give it to me. They gave me the grace to snap the bullet So they hold it on their fingertip, they snap it and hold it on their palm and snap it. Those are the pictures of the bullet that I have. When I was discharged, they refused to give me the bullet up to date. And the investigation in the panel, they end up telling us that they will take the report to the government and the government will surely compensate us. So we are waiting for them. None of us, the protesters that have been shot by the Nigerian army, none of us have received any form of compensation from the government. We that the soldiers killed and shot at, none of us received compensation yet. The people that receive compensation are those that have that have SARS matter and police brutality. Those are the ones they settle their family with 10 million, 5 million, 750,000 and so on and so forth. But we at the Lekki toll gate that were being shot by the Nigerian army, they have not compensated any of us up to date. And we are still living in pains. Since that time, none of us can work. Like person like me, I cannot work. I cannot lift any heavy thing because the hole is still in my chest. It is only skin that covers it. And the internal pain is still there. I sleep only on the left hand side and face up. I cannot sleep on my right hand side. If I do mistake, I will wake up with pains. So I beg Nigerians and Africa and the whole world at large to please help me and seek for justice. We need justice and that's all we need. Thank you.
This EndSARS case.
The way the government handled this EndSARS case, I'm not satisfied with it. Reasons was we thought at the end of it all, we the gunshot victims will be compensated so as we can go and seek for full medical attention. But at the end of it all, they end up compensating those that have SARS
Related
issue and the police brutality related issues. But the main and they compensated them 10 million and above to victims, to those victims. But the only thing that is shocking me and that is disturbing my brain now is the Lekki toll shooting itself by the soldier, the military, who came and shot at us, the peaceful protesters at Lekki toll gate. The military, they came at the first time, second time, and they stopped coming. And only for me to understand and to that, by the time the army admitted that yes, they came and they were being ordered from Bonikam down to Ekpe, but unfortunately getting to Lekki toll gate, then they started shooting at us. They couldn't get to Ekpe again. And it was General Bello, that was giving that testimony. A high-ranked officer in the Nigerian army who could come outside and testify such. He said they came with they only shot a black bullet and a blank bullet.
According to Lai Mohammed, Minister of Information, he said nobody died. Can you confirm this?
You see, that is propaganda. Lai Mohammed is in his office wherever he was, in Abuja or whatever, or wherever. I don't know where he lives in this country. You see, he's not there. I am a living testimony. Thank God I am alive to stand here today to give testimony of what really happened on the 20th October 2020. The army, they came and they shot at us. I was shot on the left hand side of my chest. It was in the hospital that they removed the bullet.
And you saw dead bodies?
And although I did not see dead body, because I was shot and being taken away from the protest ground earlier. While I was in the hospital, the shooting continued. And what happened thereafter, I never knew until when I was being discharged from the hospital. That was when I began to hear so many truths again. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.